Hello everyone and welcome to tonight's presentation. Thank you so much everyone for taking time out of your day and your week to tune in to this live or watching this on replay. My name is Melanie Wood, founder and owner of Speaking Styles, and you're going to be with me for the next 45 minutes and I'm going to be able to share with you the 3 C's of business communication. Let me know in the comments that you're ready to learn the 3 C's of business communication in your life and your business. Let me know. I'm super excited to be here and be able to take you through this. So before we get started, I want you to let me know in the comments where you feel you're sitting right now with communicating your business online, things that you're going to be doing when all of this is being able to go back into person, where you feel like you're going to be able to improve lots of different conversations and communication in your business. So number 1 is feeling unsure and a bit overwhelmed with doing lots of different things online and how to communicate your business online, especially over on LinkedIn. You can put in the comments a 1, 2, 3, or 4, or you might be across all of them, so feel free to put in more than one number. Number 2, you might feel like a bit of an imposter. Who's going to listen to me if I start putting videos online? Do I really know more than my audience? Then that's number 2. Number 3 is that you need a little bit of help with clarity and confidence around your communication with your business. Number 4 is that you are confident, but you would just like to be able to sharpen your speaking skills a little bit more, especially now if you're doing lots of things online. And then when you go back to being able to do things in person, then you have more skill. So let me know in the comments if you're a 1, 2, 3, or 4, or whether you're across several different ones as well. Then I will have a look at the comments and be able to just get a feel of where people are at right now. Let me know. And I'll give you a few moments just to be able to have a think, pop it in the comments, and we will all be able to have a look and see where you are at. Excellent. Thank you so much, everybody, for sharing. And what I'd love to be able to do, if that's okay with everybody, I'd love to be able to just share a little bit more about myself, who I am, why I do what I do, and then we're going to get into the 3 C's of business communication. So my name is Melanie Wood. I'm the founder and owner of Speaking Styles, and I specialize in helping people like yourself, business owners, entrepreneurs, be able to gain more clarity and confidence so that you can talk about yourself and your business to be able to gain more clients, more business, and being able to relate to people and connect with people as your authentic self. Now, take you back in time that when I was in my late teens, I used to be this super fearless person. I used to be really adventurous. I would be going overseas. I would be just doing lots of different travel. I was just putting myself out there. However, I would never put myself out there to do something like this or do any form of public speaking. It was the furthest away from anything that I would ever have imagined myself doing. And when I was in my late teens, I had a one-way ticket to the US. And I was going to the US and I was going to immigrate there, move there when I was 18. And I was so excited to do that because travel to me and living in another country, given the fact that I am from Scotland in the UK, being able to do that was just my childhood dream. I used to sit at the window in school and watch the rain fall down, and it was always cold and windy and wet. And I used to think there's something better out there in life. There's better weather out there in life. And obviously now I do live in Queensland in Australia. And that one-way ticket to America soon became a distant memory. Because at that moment, I was due to go to the States in a few months' time. And I went on a night out and I met someone, and that person ended up being my husband. So I threw away that ticket to go to the States and I settled down, got married, and started to climb the career ladder. because that's what I thought that was what you were meant to do. And over 6 years, I was actually in an abusive marriage. And at the time, I was also going through a lot of challenges and some bullying and harassment in the workplace. So for 6 years, that fearless person really started to become a distant memory. I really lost a lot about myself. I lost my voice because speaking up really just wasn't an option. So for 6 years, I really lost so much about myself. And then one day, a particular colleague of mine had obviously started to realize things in my life weren't going the way that I was perceiving it to be. I was very good at wearing a mask at work and every day and really hiding what was going on in my life. And in this particular day, I really just couldn't do it any longer. And she took her shoes off and she walked over and she put mine on. And she asked me if I was okay. And in that moment, I knew I had to be that fearless person again and say I wasn't okay. And that person supported me and guided me for an entire year through everything that I was going through. And then I was able to leave that relationship because she was someone who had been through what I had been through myself. So having that person holding my hand, never pushing me to do anything that I wasn't ready to do, to guide me and support me through that entire process. And then I left that marriage and I vowed for the rest of my days that I would help other people to be able to find their voice. And for 12 years, I did absolutely nothing. I hated the world. I hated everybody in it. I blamed everybody for everything that had happened to me. So for 12 years, I never really did anything. That one-way ticket to the States was gone. That dream that I had to immigrate to another country was gone. I climbed the career ladder. That's where I just thought that's where I was going to be. Bought my own house. I started to do everything that society perceives that we need to be. And then over 7 years ago, I came to Australia on a one-way ticket for a working holiday visa with my friend. And prior to coming to Australia, I had been opened up to a lot of personal development, a lot of spirituality, and it absolutely changed my entire life. The book, The Secret by Rhonda Byrne, changed my entire life. And for the last 7 years, I have been living in Australia. I've overcome so much of my past, and I started to overcome public speaking. And I absolutely love that I've been able to do that and find my voice again and being able to help other people find their voice. And I am so passionate about people being able to do that as their authentic self, really looking at your why, what really brings passion and the values to you and the people that you work with and the people that you want to work with as well. So I'm so passionate about that, and I'm so excited to be here to work through all of this with you here this evening. So thank you so much for listening. That's a little bit about myself, but now it is all about all of you watching here today. So let's get started. Again, who is ready to be able to find their voice, to be able to sharpen their speaking skills and being able to do that online, especially on LinkedIn, and start learning the 3 C's of business communication? Who is ready for that? I know I am. So in the comments, I've shared a little bit about myself. I'd love to know who is tuning in. You can pop in the comments your name, your business name, and one word that describes you. So pop that in the comments. I'd love to just hear and see who is tuning in and a little bit about you. And again, everybody that's watching, you can all get to know each other at the same time as well. I'll give you a moment to do that. Excellent. Thank you so much again, everybody, for sharing. All right. So tonight, what you're going to learn is the 3 C's of business communication. So the first one is confidence and mindset for change in future results. so that you can be in the right mindset for everything that we're all going through, doing a lot of things online, but then being able to have those future results and being able to do online and offline as well, and still receive the results that you're looking for in your business and the conversations and communications that you're having. Number 2, clarity. So clarity to be able to share your message, being able to share more about who you are and what you do, and having that clarity behind it. Number 3 is communication in business. So this is around the communication and conversations that you have out there with people online, whether it's speaking to camera, whether it's speaking on Zoom, or whether it's speaking in person. Then these are the 3 things that I'm going to be able to teach you here tonight for you to be able to start implementing that into your business. So let's get started, everyone. So letting people know that, I know that you've popped in the comments earlier out of 1, 2, 3, and 4 where you're sitting. So what I do is that I take people through my 7 steps to confidence and clarity in your business. So I take people from being uncertain to imposter up to clarity. So sometimes some people feel that they're a little bit confused, anxious, fearful, overwhelmed when they're in the case of having that uncertainty. And that tends to be around your message. You know what your business does, but actually communicating it, whether it's in text on social media, whether it's on a video, is where I see a lot of the problems. And until people get that message clear, it can hold them back from really communicating exactly what you do in order for the other person or other people to really understand and get it. And then some people find that imposter of who's going to listen to me, am I going to know more than the people that are listening to me? So these are things in which I help people being able to overcome, so that you can then have the full clarity of being authentic, confident, present, relaxed, to be able to communicate more about yourself. So again, who would love to be able to come through all of these and be super, super clear and have clarity around your message? Let me know in the comments as well. So let's touch on the mindset and the confidence around sharing your business and having those conversations. So let's have a look at what I always see is the things that hold people back. So it's not about public speaking. It's not about getting on camera and doing something like this. It's actually a fear that is holding people back. It's not about the word or the perception around standing up in front of people. It's one or more of these 4 fears that can be holding you back. So fear of failure, fear of humiliation and embarrassment, fear of judgment, or fear of rejection. These are some of the things that could potentially be holding you back. So I want you to take a moment and I want you to think of which one stands out for you. And which one stands out for you around maybe doing a lots more things digitally, lots more things on Zoom right now, and then think about overcoming some of those to then going back to person. And I know in having conversations with people that their fears when they were doing things in person are very different to what they are now, based on doing so much online, because they might not get the facial expressions, the body language that we can get when we're in person. So we don't know what the audience is going through, what some of their questions might be, sometimes if we're doing recorded videos like this. So think about for yourself, where might you be sitting right now, especially if you're looking at going online, and especially if we are looking at the different social media platforms. So I know that some of for my clients, they go, oh, I don't want to go over onto LinkedIn because I feel I'm a bit of an imposter. I feel it's really out my comfort zone. But to think about it, that's where your audience is. And that's where you need to be able to communicate more of your business, have those conversations. And I know for myself that LinkedIn has been such an amazing platform for gaining clients, for gaining business, and just really showcasing exactly who you are and what you do. So again, if you feel comfortable, let me know in the comments where you feel like you might be sitting. And I'm going to add a fifth one that sometimes some people talk about, is that they don't have any of these fears, but they actually have a fear of success. So the more you're being able to gain that clarity and confidence and having those conversations, you grow, your business grows. But then sometimes some people self-sabotage because it's thinking, oh my goodness, this is all really happening. It's going so well. Then I need to start bringing on team members, might need to bring on more people to help me, but I don't know if I've got the right tools and resources and confidence to be able to do that. So that might be one for you. So just on the fears that sometimes that people have. So I talk about hyper responsibility. So if you may have heard of this before, or you might not have, that's okay. So hyper responsibility is around that you as the business owner, you as the person that's communicating your message, having conversations with people, is that sometimes people can feel they're responsible for how the audience is going to receive your information, how they're going to respond, or what they're going to do with that information that you have to share. And what I want to say about that is that you can't have that type of pressure on you for that to happen. So it's really about detaching the outcome, detaching the responsibility. So like all of you here watching this presentation, and there's key things that you can be able to go away and get started today. However, I can't be responsible for what you do with these things that I'm able to teach you here tonight. That is exactly what's up to you to take that opportunity to be able to do that. So I can't have responsibility for that. You need to take that responsibility for yourself. And when we do that, we start to be able to reduce those fears. We start to be able to become more confident about who we are and what we do, and not needing the external validation of other people to be able to move forward with that. And about the fears as well that I want to mention is that if we focus so much on ourselves as the business owner, as the communicator, as the speaker, is that we're focusing too much on ourselves and not about the other people. So what we really want to do is we want to be able to flip that over. It's not about you, and it's actually about the audience. It's actually about the people that you help. That's what's so important. So if you can actually flip it over and go, I'm having a lot of these fears, I'm having a lot of these confusions or overwhelm or anxiety about going online and doing videos or doing postings, means that you're focusing way too much on yourself. Because yes, there might be people out there that might question it, they might want to debate it. There might be that one person that you get to change their life. And when we focus on the fact that you might help one person, that's what's so important, and it outweighs the rest of everything else going on. And when we're really authentic and we be ourselves, majority of the time we don't come up against that, because we're being really authentic and we're being ourselves. So great, thank you so much for sharing, everyone, some of your fears that you're having. And I want you to think about, what could you do each day to be able to minimize those fears that you might be going through? What's one thing that you could do every day? Note that down and keep yourself accountable to that. But what I'm going to do is I am going to take you through a technique that you can do prior to maybe jumping online or having a conversation with someone, something that I can give you to do, but I also want you to think of something that you can take ownership as well of, becoming aware of a fear or fears and thinking, what can I do to take the step to really just overcoming that every single day? It doesn't happen overnight, but the more you do it each and every single day, you build a habit. And then your brain then rewires to a new neuron, and then you're able to do it, and you think, wow, 3 months ago I used to be really scared about doing that. Now I just do it, and I don't feel scared. So let's move on to, we want to be able to get into the right mindset for when you're having those communications and conversations around you and your business. Because what happens is we have stress, we have our inner voices that say, you can't do that, who's going to listen to you, and what do you have to say to someone to help them? Then we have self-belief as well. So we have lots of things going on in our heads that stops us from doing things, tells us we're not worthy, tells us we're not good enough, who's going to listen to us, there's so many other people out there doing what you're doing, you know, why should people listen to you? So this is where I want you to start thinking about, again, the people that you can help. Is that you could say, thank you so much, inner voice. Thank you for letting me know that I might not be worthy of doing this, but you know what? I'm going to do it anyway. So stress is another one, is that especially during these times, is that we could have a lot of stress going on because you're having to maybe do some changes to your business, go online when you are used to doing lots of things in person. So that builds up a lot of stress and anxiety around that. And what happens is when we start building up that stress levels, we start to be able to not have the mindfulness. We then don't have the empathy. We then shut down parts of our brain that we're not able to communicate effectively because we're in a bit of a fear place. We have all of this chatter going on in our head. We're really stressed trying to survive, trying to maintain businesses, and a lot of those things start to go up. And then being able to really be of service and to help people starts to come down. So what I want to do is to teach you something that you're going to be able to do prior to jumping on the phone, prior to maybe jumping on a video, or just doing something that's a little bit out of your comfort zone. But I want to take you through a technique that literally you can do 30 seconds before you're about to do something. And the real good tip around this is it doesn't have to be just be for your business. This could be the fact that you're maybe at home with your family and they're driving you crazy and you just want to take a moment to close your eyes and get yourself re-centered and refocused before you communicate what you need to communicate. So what I'm going to ask people to do is that, depending on where you are, is to get comfortable as you can in the seat below you, wherever you are. If you're drinking some wine or some beer, pop it down. So don't have anything in your hands if that is possible. And I just want you to relax and just close your eyes when you're ready and just get centered. And I'm going to take you through a technique that you're going to be able to do as and when you need to do that. So this is my 12-step strategy that I teach to clients. Today I've only got time to share with you 3, but there are 3 really important ones that you're going to be able to take with you and do at home, in the car, wherever you are, to be able to do that. So get as comfortable as you can, taking a few deep breaths in and out. Take another deep breath in and relax all the muscles around your face. Take another deep breath in and let your forehead relax and let all the muscles around your face relax. Take another deep breath in and relax your jaw. Now visualize an amazing achievement that you have to date that you're proud of, either personally or professionally. Take another deep breath in and relax your entire body. Bring yourself back into the present moment and relax some more. Now I want you to visualize an upcoming talk or video or conversation that you might be having very soon or tomorrow. And I want you to set an intention for yourself for that communication that you have. Do you want to be more confident? Do you want to do this technique before you do it? Do you want to be present, enjoy it, and get comfortable with it? What's something that you would like for yourself? Then I'd like you to visualize an outcome for the other person or other people that you are going to be communicating with. So would you like to be able to inform them, educate them, inspire them, empower them? What's something that you would like them to be able to gain from you having that conversation or communication with them? Now take another deep breath in and relax some more. Keeping your eyes closed, I want you to visualize someone you deeply love or recall a special moment from the past that fills you with pleasure and joy. Something or someone that makes you feel like smiling. And take another deep breath in, and when you're ready, open your eyes. Let me know how everybody's feeling after doing that. I'm sure some of you will be feeling sleepy or relaxed. But what I want you to do is I want you to note down what your amazing achievement that you visualized. So note that down now or come back to that later. And then this is something that you could do. You could get a post-it note out, or you could just close your eyes and step yourself through 1, 2, and 3. Or you can write it down and then close your eyes, whatever works for you. But this is something that I really suggest that you do and really get into the habit of doing every single day. Because what's going to happen is you're going to reduce the stress, reduce the inner voices, and then being able to increase, being able to be there for people and really put yourself in their shoes and know why you're doing it as well. So put that down, amazing achievement that you have to date. And then number 2 is that for every single time that you have some business communication with people, is that putting down what's your intention for you, and then putting down what's the outcome for the other people. And again, keeping it simple. So it doesn't have to be really over the top. It could literally be that you want to feel more confident, feel more relaxed, enjoy it. Keep it really simple. And again, what's the outcome for the other person or other people? Again, keep it simple. We spend way too much time analyzing things, going over way too much in our head. When we keep it really simple, it becomes really super easy. Then you want to go into your fond memory and remembering that. So you can write that down just now. Each time it might be different, and that's okay. So what happens by doing these 3 steps is that you then know that you have achieved greatness before. So going into something that you might not feel as confident about doing, you've been able to do things before and you've created great achievements in your life. So you can do what you're doing next. When we get present, we're not as stressed. We're not thinking about all the things that went before. We're not thinking of all the things that we still have to do. We're right here and present in the moment for our audience, for our clients, for our customers, for the people in our lives. We're doing something for us. We're doing something for them. Then when we then go into our fond memory, we then create that stillness, relaxed, we're super positive, we're feeling that warm and fuzzy feeling, and we are ready. Our body language, our tone, everything around that puts us in a place where we need to be ready for any form of communication that you need to be doing. So give it a go and reach out to me and let me know how you go with it. I know for myself, I do this every day. And a lot of my clients do this as well, and they notice so much difference in doing this. So reach out to me and let me know how this goes, everyone. All right, so now what we're going to do is we've now started to get our confidence, getting your mindset in the right place before you're going to communicate with people. So now you are ready to start creating your message. So starting to create that intro that you have, whether it's on Zoom at a networking event, whether it's going back to when it's in person, you want to be able to share with people exactly what you do, but creating an intrigue. So it's not putting it all out there or waffling on or not knowing how to end, and the person then doesn't understand. You walk away going, what just happened there? I just projectile vomited all of this stuff around what I do, and that's not actually really what I do. I just got a little bit confused about that. So when you are able to create a message or an intro, you could be doing this on videos, doing this on Zoom, being able to talk about it on posts, being able to message people on LinkedIn, and really knowing what to say. So let me know in the comments who would love to be able to be more confident, have clarity around your message when you are communicating who you are and what you do. Let me know. And we're going to be able to start crafting this out. You can be able to go away from tonight's presentation and really start to craft that and start to get comfortable with it, starting to understand it more. So you might have to go away and do some little tweaks and things like that. But I'm going to be able to share with you more on how you can do that. But then you want to be able to go off yourself and really start to piece that out and create and craft that for yourself. So option 1 and option 2 we have. So I have option 1 for more around business owners, entrepreneurs, those types of people like yourself. But then I also have people that might be watching that you might be in a position in an organization. So then there's 2 different options that you will be able to choose from. But as well, some people are in full-time jobs, but they're also doing something on the side. So again, you could create 2 different ones for yourself. So before you really start getting into putting that together, I want you to start thinking about your values. Start thinking about what you're passionate about. Start to think about actually who are your ideal clients that you want to work with. Who would you just love it if you could be able to work with? because this is where you want to start communicating and having those conversations about what you love about what you do, so that when you communicate that, you're able to connect and relate with those clients that you actually want to be working with. So that's what's super important. So what you do after today is going away and maybe listing out three to five values that you have around you, your life, and your business. Then you want to think about, what are you really passionate about what you do? And I know, I hear it, some people go, really, how can I be passionate about numbers, about letters, about whatever it is? But you know, there is things around your passions, around what you do or how you help people. So I want you to, again, not allow the inner voice to come out and go, how can I talk passionately about X, Y, and Z about what I do? You could bring aspects around your life around that to be able to bring in what it's maybe created for you or created for a customer or a client, and bring that in. So I want you to really think about that. Think about those passions, think about those values before you start creating that message, because that's how you start to unpack it. Bring in the language that you want to be able to bring in that connects with those people that you really want to connect with. Okay. So option one is that you can introduce yourself. Hi, your name, founder, owner, business owner, director, whatever you want to be known as. Then the name of your business. And then when we use words like I help, or I support, or I guide people, or I specialize in, what happens is that we're starting to show people that we help people and we support. So then in the minds and the hearts of your audience, or the people that you're communicating with, they think, you help people, maybe you could help me. So again, you need to think of a phrase that you feel is right for you and the people that you want to attract. So I'm going to give you an example of the one that I use, which I did at the beginning, but just to recap again. And so I say to people when they ask me, hey, Melanie, you know, what do you do? I do it at the beginning of videos, presentations. Hi, I'm Melanie Wood. I'm the founder and owner of my business, Speaking Styles. And I specialize in helping business owners like yourself be able to gain more clarity and confidence so that you can talk about your business and yourself to be able to grow your business, gain more clients, and speak as your authentic self. So what happens in there is that I've already identified where people are needing help, which is gaining clarity and confidence to talk about themselves and their business. So what you need to look at is that, what do your people need? What do they want more of? And that's how you start to be able to unpack that and put that together in a very short sentence. 2 sentences at the most, okay? Because what you want to intrigue from that is that people wanting to know more. And the people that want to know more then become your people. Not everybody is your people. Not everybody wants to know more, and that's okay. This is the reason why we create this type of intro, is that you're gaining the people who want to know more and want to listen to you and find out more. Okay, and again, some of the problems that I see is that people want to be really generic, or you might help quite a lot of different people. What you need to think about is, who do you want to be able to help? Who would be your ideal people that you want to work with? You could start creating that to really attract those types of people. Then number 2 is that you might want to be able to say, hi, your job title, the company that you work in, what you do, what you love about what you do. And another part in this is that you're able to share more about what you love about what you do as well. Sometimes you might want to put that first and then put your title and organization at the end. It depends on how comfortable you are or what you do and how you want to be able to communicate that message. So that's just something that you can get started on and really start to piece that together. Again, if anybody wants a little bit more help with that, feel free to reach out to me and I'll be able to help you a little bit more on that, okay? So again, get started today. Start piecing that together, start communicating that message and intro with people, and it might feel a little bit strange at first to do it if it's not something that you're used to doing. But you know, it's about getting started, and the more you do it, the more you get used to doing it. Because what I see is that you become different to everybody else that's communicating who they are and what they do. So you become memorable, because you're cutting out the white noise of how everybody around a table or on Zoom or on camera introduces themselves. You become different, and that's what you need to focus on, is that not being like everybody else. And then you start to be able to cut through the white noise and start really being able to communicate with people as well. So start today, piece that together, give it a go, and start being able to communicate that message to people and to your audience. And again, let me know how that goes. If you put it together, pop it in the comments. I'd love to be able to see what people have come up with. Pop it in there and let me know. So then this takes us on. That was you getting that clarity. So we've done the confidence around your mindset. Then we've done around getting clear, getting the clarity around your values, your passions, creating that message and intro. So now what I want to be able to move on to talk about is the communication and conversations that you have in your business. And that starts with storytelling. So at the beginning of the presentation, I have taken you through my story at the beginning. So what's really important as well is that you can create that intro, but then being able to go in to start sharing more of a story with people really relate to. Now again, things that I hear people talking about say, well, I don't have a traumatic story like you. I don't have a massive transformation story like you. And I say, no, you might not do, but you have a story. You have a story of your journey. You have a story of how you got started. It doesn't have to be a massive transformation or a traumatic past in order to be able to connect with people. So why is storytelling important? Again, people think, I just want to get on with my business. I just want to be able to communicate what I do. I don't really want to have to talk about myself. And what I say is that to know, like, and trust people, we need to be sharing more stories. We have been sharing stories since the beginning of time. Caveman days, pictures on the walls, through images, then into text, then through stories of communication. Storytelling is something that humans need to connect. We have been doing it since the beginning of time. We're doing it now, and we will continue to do this, whether we're doing it through digitally, whether we're doing it in person. Sharing stories is really where you're going to be able to fast track the connection of the know, like, and trust. So that means that you put your business card away, you put away the waffling, the projectile vomiting, all of these things, and you start to connect with people on a human-to-human level. And the reason why I say this is that I know for myself and my business is that when I share my story and also of value and strategies and tips that people can gain, I'm then able to gain more clients a lot quicker and faster. So it is a proven results strategy that I do, that I teach my clients. What I want to be sharing with you through this presentation is being able to start getting comfortable with sharing more about yourself. And again, you can start small. You don't have to go into all of it. I wasn't sharing all of my story at the beginning of my business. I am now, but I wasn't then. So it's taking little bits and pieces of what you're comfortable with, what potentially could relate to people, and start from the beginning and start where you are, okay? But we really want to think about bringing storytelling in. So letting me know in the comments or having a think about this is, how many stories have you heard in the last week or so? 10, 20, 30? Let me know in the comments. Generally, when I ask this question, people will say 20 plus, 30 plus. Lots of stories, and I'm sure right now everybody's sharing a lot more stories than normal. So then I want you to think about is that out of those amount of stories, how many of them do you remember? And why do you remember them? Let me know in the comments. And again, generally what people will come back with and say humor, emotions, something that's relatable. So what happens is that, and then now it might be one or two stories that you remember. That's why it's so important to share stories, but share stories that are relevant to your audience, that are relevant to what you do, so that people can really then start coming along in that journey, or they can see themselves in what you've experienced to where they have experienced it, the journey as well, or where they need to go. So really thinking about, yes, what some things that you can bring in is around emotional language that you could bring in, getting people to visualize, bringing in real parts of challenges and obstacles, and I'm going to share a little bit more in the next slide around that. But I just want you to really think about storytelling is really important. How do we do that online? Well, we start to create videos. We share little bits at a time at networking events online. We share a little bit more of your why, what you do, how you do it because of that. There's ways in which you can break down your story to not have to do it all at once, but start to do piece by piece, and people start to then see the bigger picture in that. For some people, you might be new to business, so then your storytelling could be what's your vision? What's your vision of yourself, your company, your organization, your business, your clients, your customers? Bring them in the vision journey. And even if you are established, you can still take people on a vision journey and share with them what the transformation for them would look like. The storytelling is really important, guys. So really start to think about how you can bring that in your own business. So this is where you can start to really piece together what makes a story relatable. So you've got the call. How did you get started? Why did you get started in your business? So for some of you, you might have different calls to adventure, different calls to starting your business. So for me, it was around fear of public speaking, the time when I left my visa to be able to go to the States. I put it in the bin, I got married. There's so many things that have been able to be that catalyst to why I started my business. So you could start to pinpoint where in your journey really brought you to where you are today. Then you've got the pit. So you've got the dark moments, the challenges, the obstacles that you've been in to where you are now. And that's maybe how you take your clients or your customers on that adventure and on that journey, because they're maybe in the pit right now, but you've been there. How did you get out of the pit? And how can you help people be able to do the same? Because you've been there before, or you have other people that have been there before and you fast-tracked that for them. So thinking about what some of the highs and lows that you've had in your life that you've went through. So then that takes us into the journey. So really piecing together that journey from maybe being in the pit that you suddenly went, I'm going to quit that job and I'm going to start the business. Or you've been doing the business for a long time, but then you suddenly went, I'm really going to do my business. I had to go and study. I had to go and do X, Y, and Z in my journey. That search moment that you had, really thinking about what's the journey that you've been on to where you are today that you could start sharing with people. Then that takes you up to the moment of breakthrough. So through the call that you had, the why have you started your business, the pit moments, the dark moments, the journey that led you to where you are today, to then the breakthrough that you've had. Sharing that with people and sharing people what's possible for them. And that leads me into the fascinating results that you've had, clients have had, other people's results. For some of you might think, I'm not that successful right now, or I don't really have results right now. Well, bring other people's results in. Bring your clients and customers' results in. Don't ever think because you're not where you perceive yourself to be yet doesn't mean that you don't have results already. You do. If you're one step ahead of your clients and your customers, then you have fascinating results, and bring other people's results in that journey. So those are things that really start to make a relatable story. By compiling and starting to bullet point some of these points, then you can start creating some videos, creating some conversation starters, and really start to share with people more about yourself, more about your business story, your own story, other people's stories, and really start to bring them in as you're having your business communication. So letting me know, everybody, in the comments, what's maybe some things that have stood out for you around them. This is part of the hero's journey. If you've heard this before, it's something that I teach my clients, how to craft a story through where you started, where you are now, but it just becomes a cycle, because you then start to maybe have another call to adventure in your business. And then you maybe have some more dark moments, like, potentially a lot of people right now. Then you could be able to start sharing your journey that you've had over the last few months. What's some breakthroughs that you've had? What's some fascinating results that you've had, or your business or other people have had? Start now, and you could really share what you've been going through over the last few months, and being able to share that with other people, and they think, oh, someone else feels like I have, or have went through what I have. We start to be able to share with people more around the human level, the human connection, and people go, I'm so glad that they've shared that, because I felt that same way, but I looked at all these people on social media and I thought there was nothing wrong, or they were absolutely building their business, still having momentum, but not having any pit moments. So it's really important to share with people, and then you can share more of how you've been able to adapt and change, and then something that they can do as well. So that's how we can start being able to piece together stories. That's a little bit of a start for you there to start to go through, but having a bit of a look on there of which points that you need to work on, or which points that you want to be able to start communicating more of online as videos or posts, whatever it is to be able to do, and being able to do that on LinkedIn as well, and share those business to business stories is really, really important. So everyone, thank you so much again for joining and tuning in on this. We're starting to really wrap up. It's amazing how time flies really quickly, doesn't it? So what we have been able to look at in this presentation is the 3 C's of business communication. So we looked at confidence and mindset for changing future results. We looked at the clarity around your message. And we also looked at communication in your business conversations around storytelling and how you can build that know, like, and trust with everybody. So let me know in the comments, everyone, what has been your light bulb moment from today's presentation? Let me know in the comments. I'd love to know just what some of your light bulb moments, aha moments that you think, wow, I'm so ready to start doing that. Let me know in the comments, and I'll let you have a little moment to have a think and pop that down in the comments for me. Thank you so much, everybody, for sharing. So now, just as we're starting to wrap up, what is one step that you need to take now? So gone from the caterpillar into the butterfly, what's that one thing that you need to do next in order to take that next step? Let me know in the comments, or reach out to me on social media and send me a message. I'd love to know, what's that next step that you need to take from everything that you've learned through the takeaways. What's the next step for you that you feel is something that's relevant for you to really take yourself and your business to that next level online or on LinkedIn? Let me know. And I'll give you a few moments to see if you want to pop anything in the comments for me. and transform into that amazing butterfly that you are, and really going through the journey that a caterpillar to a butterfly does. Again, the same thing around the hero's journey and what it takes to get there. So thank you everybody again for tuning in and watching this. I hope that that's been really, really useful. Thank you for everybody for sharing in the comments throughout this presentation, and letting just everybody know as well that if you're looking at a little bit more help with anything that we have went through today in this presentation, for a small period of time, I am offering a free Find Your Voice strategy session, especially if you have been doing more things around transitioning online and you need a little bit more help maybe creating that message. Then please reach out to me and you can book in for a free 1-hour Find Your Voice strategy session. If you go over to my website, speakingstyles.com.au, there is a tab in there for a free consultation. You can go directly to there and book that time and day that suits you, that already on there, or reach out to me on any social media platform and we can be able to do that. My email and my numbers is there as well. Feel free to reach out to me either on my website, phone, email, or social media. Melanie Wood, Speaking Styles. Feel free to reach out and we'll be able just to see if and where I'm able to help you a little bit more with anything that you are interested with this evening, or that you might just be struggling a little bit and where you need to go from here. And that one step that you might need to take, you might feel you need a little bit more help, feel free to reach out to me. Thank you so much again, everyone, for tuning in. It's been my absolute pleasure to be with you all here today and take you through the 3 C's of your business communication. So now it is all up to you. I believe in you. I know that you can go out there and do it. I've got your back, and really go out there and share that message and share that story that's inside of you that can make an amazing difference to the lives of other people. And I look forward to being able to see you all again in person or online very soon. Bye for now.